on one. And
Good morning.
On 2.
Welcome to Coffee Beanery Sip and Share. I am Laurie.
I'm Patti.
I'm Britton.
Jane.
And we have our special guest, my mom. So she joined us in this baking challenge.
We have not had a bake-off in a really long time.
A really long time.
Yeah, Britton is the current reigning champion.
And it's a nailed it champion because it's what nailed it or failed it, because we are not all bakers.
No.
So when
I feel like this is about me.
No, I'm not.
Okay, I guess
I bake a couple times a year. Not well.
Well, we have 3 generations on this couch. One is a baker, we can say,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like baking.
Okay. And 2 just don't.
Yeah.
Right?
Fair.
Right?
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
It kind of skipped a generation because she's much more apt at it than.
Yeah, I feel like I can hold my own.
Yeah.
I feel like I do a really good job.
Yeah.
I just don't always know what everything means.
Okay, let's go back though.
I agree with
You've
that.
won before.
Yes.
Right?
Several times.
Right. I've never
Why
won.
do you think I made a trophy
Yeah, she did.
for
She-
myself?
And I think there's actually a crown too
I
somewhere.
do have a tiara.
Yeah.
My kids this morning were like, "Mom, are you going to get to keep your trophy?" I was like, "I don't know, guys. Probably not."
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I made the cheesecake, and I'm just gonna say it looks.
It does
legit.
look good.
Great.
It looks
I don't
really
know
good.
how it tastes,
Morning,
but it
Mel.
looks legit.
Hello,
So-
Bill. Hello,
Morning,
So
Patty.
morning.
take a picture before you taste.
We
I
did.
didn't take a picture of the strawberries.
No,
on it,
yeah, I didn't
though.
do that. Bill
Because
says
I
good
don't
morning,
really like
bakers.
strawberries.
So
Good morning.
we do have a contest on our VIP page right now. You could hurry up and go and enter if you haven't done it already. We took pictures of all of the items before we distributed it or cut it, and are letting you vote on who you think is the winner.
The contest is
So-
on our Facebook page.
Our Facebook VIP page, I should say. I only put it on the VIP.
Oh, on the
Yeah.
VIP page.
Yes.
So I will see if anybody requests to become a VIP while we're sitting.
Yes. Yes.
So if you need
So
it.
it's Coffee Beanery VIP fans, I think is the page.
And so just to recap why we do a baking challenge, it's not because we're so excited about baking.
I don't know. I really like your videos because Laurie usually documents it for us, and it's pretty great. Morning, Deborah.
I really felt like I didn't need to document it this time because I've got the hang of it. But
Mhm.
as Britton was watching the video, she may have a different opinion.
Honestly, it was a little funny, but it was not as concerning as other times.
Yes. Charles is here. Good morning, Charles. I
Good
hope you're
morning,
feeling
Charles.
better.
Oh yeah, I hope you're doing good.
And you're welcome for your surprise box. I hope you like it.
Oh, good morning, Mo.
Hello, Mo. Lovely to see everybody today. So the reason why we did the baking challenge is because we are ready to taste our New York City coffee subscription box.
So it's a busy day.
It's a busy day.
We're
We got a lot
tasting
to do.
coffee. We're tasting baked goods.
Yes. So again, everybody so far is not new, but we'll just go through
And
the
these are
spiel
all
again.
decaf, so we won't get
Yeah,
all
we
baked
picked
up.
decaf. Yeah.
For Patty's sake.
For definitely my sake, for sure. So every month we curate a coffee of the month box, and it has a theme. This month's theme is New York City, and it is based on flavors that are popular in New York
We
City.
could go shovel snow
bakers.
in New York City.
I saw that $30 an hour.
an hour.
Hook me up. You know, I think I would get like one driveway done before my back goes out. So
I would be so tired.
Yeah.
I mean, $30. I'd be like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
How much is a chiropractor visit compared to the $30 I would earn?
But I like when she's like, well, if I bring a snowplow, I can do 4 times
I
as
saw
much. Do I
that.
make 120 an hour?
Yeah.
Like,
Nope.
no, that's
Nope.
not how it works.
Didn't work that way. So, fun fact about this box, though, I was reading a book, and it was based in New York City, and they just kept talking about black and white cookies, and they baked them like 1,000 times as this book. That's an exaggeration. And I stopped and I emailed myself New York City box, and then went back to reading. So we get inspiration from everywhere.
Yeah. No, and I'm excited about this box. Now, to be fair, and this is probably part of Patty's non-trophy-ness so far, is because she gives me first choice.
Mhm.
And I thought cheesecake, no problem. Like I've made cheesecake in the past. You just like add milk and there's a couple ingredients in there.
This would be the
So
Jello pudding
I
recipe.
thought it would
That's
be
what I
like
was
the
saying.
easiest one.
It says the Nailed It champion. I'm the reigning Nailed It champion from
Yeah.
last.
Because it definitely has
competition.
nailed it or failed it. Our first
Was our first the
my
princess box?
inedible thing that I made.
That was our Swedish box, and Lori made
princess
a
cake.
princess cake,
It was a
princess
princess
something,
cake, yeah.
cake.
and it was
Horrid.
not our favorite.
It was horrid.
It was horrible.
But a lot of people liked it, but it looked disgusting. It had green fondant.
like,
It was
oozing.
oozing out the bottom.
Mhm.
It was disgusting. So my cheesecake is beautiful.
Bill
Cheesecake
says they
is
talk
very
about
pretty.
black and white cookies in the Seinfeld sitcom too. I never saw any
Oh.
episodes, but I could do the soup.
Yeah, they look
the
good.
soup
I
one.
just thought, oh, I don't want to dip those cookies. That looks so difficult.
Yeah, because what I do
And
is
I'm
I
like,
send
bread
them.
looks so difficult to make. And then those
Yeah.
cronut things, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, cheesecake seems. Then
Mhm.
I got my recipe, 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Mhm.
I started 7:00 last night because I had to let
You
everything
s-
sit out, and it took hours for it to get to room temperature. And then I at 9:40 I finished
Bless
baking.
her
Then
heart.
I had to wait another hour with it in the oven with it gently opened, which mine doesn't gently open; it's open or shut. So I put a spoon in there and kind of. I don't even
But
know.
your oven does just open a little bit.
Mine does not.
I've done it.
It does not. It opens like this much.
You can crack it.
I tried it.
Crack it?
We love
I had
you,
to put a
Heidi.
spoon in to like keep it. And
Well,
I kept waking my dogs, my puppies up. Then I'd take them outside. It's just crazy.
So what is the first one we're going to
okay.
try?
So let's get into it. We're gonna go on order. So I'll let Laurie read the
Oh,
order.
okay.
I'll pour the coffee. We'll try
Um,
the coffee first, and then we'll try the dessert.
So black and white cookies, soft, cake-like, and perfectly balanced with rich chocolate and sweet vanilla icing.
And what Jane told me is that it does have cake flour in it, and that's why they're cake-like. They're a little bit like more like soft and puffy.
Okay, now I'm interested. I did
Yeah.
not eat breakfast because I'm
We had
looking
to
forward
go
to
That's
to
why I didn't make my
two
protein shake
different
today because
Stores
You had to
You
go
were
to
ready?
two different
You did?
stores.
to get cake flour.
Oh
Really?
yeah,
Oh, they don't have it.
yeah.
Pass that
It
to
is
Brittany.
harder to find. Yeah, red box cake
Oh,
flour.
I'm sorry.
that's okay.
Swan's down cake flour. That's my favorite one.
So it's really just like chocolate and vanilla, sort of.
Sorry, I thought Seinfeld with the babka. Yeah, there is something about the babka. Actually, now that you say that,
Oh, that's really good.
yeah,
William.
gotta love that.
Really hair everywhere.
this
I'm so glad
is
I don't
good.
have a hairy dog.
Oh, that's good.
Mm.
babka.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Now we
Mhm.
have to try the cookie, though. I'm super excited.
Yes.
So is that our
Yeah,
little plate?
Yeah, everybody has a plate.
Here you go, Mom.
Get your plate, and then so it is like puff on the bottom,
Okay.
and then
Oh, it
half
is puffy.
vanilla and half chocolate icing. I think you should take a bite right in the
Ooh.
middle.
It almost looks like a skinny macaron.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm. That's good.
Okay, I tried the chocolate side. Now I need to try the vanilla side.
It's a cookie.
Mm-hmm.
They're good.
And it is more soft than like a normal sugar cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've never had a. Anyone,
I've
never
never
had
had
a
one
black and white
either.
before.
And it tastes like the coffee.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Good job, Jane.
Very nice.
Okay, you're in the
That's
lead so
good.
far.
Hmm?
You're in the lead so far.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
You're the only one. You're in the lead.
You're winning. You're
Am
a
I?
winner. Yeah.
Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the
Hand
moment.
over the
She's feeling it already.
Yeah. She's just like literally
That's
taking it
good.
off you. That's
Okay.
really good. Good job. Great job. Like I need to put this over
It
here.
is good.
It is
Mm.
good.
It's good with the coffee too.
Mm-hmm.
They complement each other so nice.
Mhm.
Well, and I was wondering what the flavors are, but the coffees of the flavor really are good.
Yeah.
Good job.
Half
Patty, on
ice,
flavoring.
half.
You need the
Mhm.
coffee to go with the cookie.
Mhm.
Yes. Agreed.
And everybody should just make all this stuff.
Mm-hmm. I can post links to the recipes.
Oh gosh.
I always send them a link to the recipes, and Laurie picks first. So, like she said, she picked cheesecake because she thought it was easy. She learned.
Yeah.
Oh, there.
What I learned is that all of these were pretty time consuming, right?
Yes.
Okay.
How long did yours take, Mom?
Well, you bake the cookies and then you have to make the frosting and then you have to let the vanilla sit and then put the chocolate on.
That's
was
a
this
lot.
one?
So
Babka.
I started probably about 6:30 and ended at 10:30.
Oh, yeah. that's long.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So we all were in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Babka swirl.
But a lot
Buttery.
of that was downtown. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No, you're fine. Buttery, tender, and delightfully twisted with ribbons of cinnamon. Did you maybe it's in the crust. Mine had cinnamon, which I thought was weird.
Actually,
It's
I always
strong.
add cinnamon to the crust of my cheesecake.
Yeah.
When I worked at I do that for my key lime pie. When I worked at Marshall Fields as a cold chef, we made the key lime pie and there's cinnamon in the crust. So I always add cinnamon to my graham cracker crust. I like cinnamon.
Love cinnamon.
I do too. But what we discussed is that the girls do not like cinnamon. You like cinnamon. The boys all like cinnamon. Because I
wish
was
I
wondering
did.
if it was like a family thing for cinnamon.
That is
It's snowing
gorgeous.
again.
That is really, really
Oh my
pretty.
It is so
gosh.
pretty.
They
Thank
got
you.
Bread is
3
beautiful.
feet of
It was much
snow.
easier than I thought it would be.
We don't have snow like that down here.
No.
How
In
much?
the UP they do.
The UP just had 13 feet of snow.
So,
my husband's up there snowmobiling.
What I read is that
13 feet.
Providence has
3 feet.
actually the worst, the most snow it's ever had, like ever recorded. So, yeah, I thought it was like 32 inches or
morning,
something
Jen.
like
Morning,
that. Yeah.
Jennifer.
Good morning, everybody.
The coffee's
Deborah,
good.
the cinnamon babka was my favorite flavor
This looks fancy.
so far too. And
It's
yes,
gorgeous. The bread is gorgeous.
I
Like, I
know.
mean, I do maybe 8% of me would like to make sourdough bread just because
Mhm.
they're so pretty.
yeah.
I have a
This,
sourdough
is this
bread.
sourdough though?
No, this
Can't-
is not
I
sourdough.
don't
This
think
is
so.
yeast. Mhm.
This is good.
So it's
Mhm.
instant yeast, and it's a sweet dough with sugar.
It reminds me of Amish friendship bread.
Yeah, it's kind of, and I thought
Hmm.
it reminded me of making a cinnamon roll when I made it, except that when you roll it up with a cinnamon filling in it, you actually cut it in half and then you just braid it, and it was actually really easy.
Okay.
And it made 2 loaves, so it was a really good recipe. I liked it, and my son and I ate it last night.
It
We
is
It's
just
very
liked
beautiful. I
good.
feel like you could almost ice it too.
Uh-huh.
Like put icing on it would be
Mhm.
yummy. I don't like cinnamon, so
I'm
I'm.
doing
Mhm.
more little plates.
Mhm.
Yeah, I almost feel like we have to throw them.
You know what? I don't. I can go for them.
Okay.
It's so nice. Remember when you used to
This
have the
is good.
microphones on us, and we'd get up and it'd be
Oh
like,
my
oh,
gosh.
oops,
Like,
you have to take the
yeah.
microphones off. Isn't it crazy, Mom, that microphone right there gets us all? We don't have to wear microphones.
I didn't even notice
Yeah,
it.
isn't it? And I think it's decent.
Here's those, Britton.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Decent quality sound. I mean, I think you
I
guys
don't
can hear
know.
us.
It
okay.
is.
I think cheesecake is next.
This
Mm.
looks like it belongs on the cover of a magazine. It does. It's
It's
very,
I
super
very
imagine
pretty.
Logan
Thank
found
you.
that for you.
Logan or Britton,
Yes.
one of the two.
It was
Yeah,
Logan. For sure.
Logan's
Logan.
great about it.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Hannah, come up here today. You can have some babka. We have plenty.
we are having cheesecake next, which this is actually, the coffee is just a normal cheesecake, and we had to make strawberry cheesecake. So I'm not.
Very good, Patty.
Mhm. Thank you.
Creamy, smooth, and decadently rich with just the right hint of sweetness with lime.
So
And you got forks next to you. Perfect.
I do have forks. Yes. Lori, do you want to cut? Well, I guess we'll try it first and then we'll let you cut it.
Okay.
Lori did make a process video.
Are we going to post it?
We did not have time to edit it before this, but we will get that edited and posted for you
I'm
later.
practically a professional at this point.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why we're giving her a knife.
It's gonna be delicious.
Yes.
I did love when she put the lime juice in though, and she goes, I like lime better than lemon.
Do you want some more graham cracker? Because the graham
Oh,
cracker is the
thank you.
best part.
Mhm.
Get your graham cracker.
Hey, it looks good. It's not jiggly. It's
No,
all,
it
it looks
looks
like a
good.
Strawberry?
cheesecake.
Are we eating this with our finger?
No,
we
it's
have
a fork.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, I can't wait to try
I'm gonna
it.
take the strawberry off. I don't like strawberry.
We give that to Patty.
Thank you, madam. It looks perfect. I
It
mean, you did a
does.
great
That
job.
cheesecake collection was good.
That looks
Hannah
really
says I'm
good.
at work until 6. Have
Yeah.
Francis bring some home.
Okay, I'll send some home. with
I'm
them.
taking
I'll
some
put some
extra
aside
graham
for 'em.
cracker because the graham. Do you like? You
I do
do
like
like strawberry. I'll give you the strawberry.
And then just a fork.
Yeah. Okay. Work, madam. Trying to reach you.
It does
work for you.
not disappoint.
It looks good.
It looks.
I
really
thought it
good.
looked like
Yeah.
real cheesecake.
Now, when
like
you-
I would buy this at a store cheesecake.
When you see her video, you'll understand why we're so proud of Laurie when she bakes, because she does a good job.
Mm,
Really good.
actually, that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Excellent job. I'm going to eat this whole piece because you know what I learned yesterday? I had a vendor here and he brought me a nutritional sheet for cheesecake. 790 calories for one slice, but it was 20 grams of protein. So if we take it from a protein stance, cheesecake is actually healthy because it is a high protein food.
That's good because I'm taking some of this home.
It's really good.
It is good.
Mhm.
And this is the girl. I'm sure I've told you this story before that that her dad told her when she was a senior in high school, probably, that she should get in the kitchen and learn how to cook with me.
Mm.
And she looked at him and said, "Oh, Daddy, I don't need to learn how to cook until I'm married."
How'd that go for you?
I told my husband before I got married, I just want to let you know I don't cook or clean. I don't want to give you false expectations. I'll be an amazing mom.
Mm.
And that's what happened.
I don't know what Logan's saying
He
there too.
accepted it.
I don't know.
I say so many things, Logan. I don't know.
Well, she has
This is really
6
good.
children and none of them
Really
have
good.
starved to death. So
Oh,
To be fair, we've
They
eaten
can cook.
frozen meat out of the, out of the fridge.
They could.
well,
Okay.
really good. Okay, and
very good.
we had protein. That's what Logan's saying no to. It is,
It
Good
is a
for
high
you.
protein food.
yeah,
What in there has protein though?
the cream cheese.
The cream cheese.
Mhm.
And there was 4 blocks
Yeah.
of cream cheese in there.
Yeah, I hear
I mean,
nothing.
that was a lot.
I hear nothing but health.
Okay,
Right
these
there.
are going to be sticky.
Now, the
Okay.
saturated fat is like 140% of your daily value. But you know what? There's no judging here.
I made
No.
2 versions of these,
Oh, the other ones are over there. I don't know. If
and
you-
I don't know which one's going to be better.
Okay.
And I have who's cheesecake.
You can do mine. Yeah.
Okay, and then passing down the apple cronut coffee.
Okay.
What version do I have?
Puff pastry.
Puff.
Yeah. Because I did the cheating version.
Yeah. Well, there is 2 versions
There
of the
was,
recipe.
Yeah.
You could use a crescent roll, like a Pillsbury crescent roll,
You could make your own dough,
which,
or you
What?
could use puff pastry.
like, has
I
anybody
had to
ever
make my
made
own
homemade
cherry pie.
croissants?
I made my own cherry pie crust. I was pretty impressed.
It took too many hours, but I made a puff pastry version and a croissant version.
Mm.
You guys
I
all
don't
have
know
puff
where
We
my
have
pastry.
puff pastry. What do you need?
I don't know where my little card went. but-
Oh.
here it is, right here. Apple cronut, flaky, buttery layers filled with spiced apple and a touch of sweet glaze for pure indulgence.
Mm. That's a good apple
No one's
coffee.
allergic to nuts, right?
No.
You're not allergic to nuts. Okay, I knew you guys weren't, but I
No.
was like, oh,
Mhm.
panic.
And this coffee is delicious.
coffee's
And I'm
so
not a
Mhm.
huge apple person, I'm going to say.
Yeah, Charles likes apple coffee.
I'm gonna try the crescent roll one,
But it's really good.
which I think is gonna be much more dense.
Yes, apple cider donuts are big in Michigan.
Yeah, I can see
too.
we're
Love
warming
those.
these up, but then everything would smush in.
Yeah,
would be a
it
good
was. We
thing.
tried one warm last night. It was fabulous.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't know how puff pastry reheats.
So were your kids like really into it? Like, oh, we're going to win this challenge?
They're very excited.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
apple cronut. It's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Very heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I think the puff pastry ones are better than the crescent rolls.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's
I
messy, but it's
love
good.
apple.
Mm-hmm. How are we gonna pick?
The frosting on it's super good.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. And you said it was a cream cheese frosting.
Mm-hmm.
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 So it's like puff pastry with a cream cheese icing
And then
with like a caramelized apple
and
and
then
nut.
you did a separate caramel apple drizzle over it.
Mm. Caramel apple drizzle. I'm here
It
for
was
it.
supposed to be apple cider though, but
It's-
there wasn't
So
apple
there's not
cider.
apple cider at the store. So I took apple juice. I got Martinelli's because it's like just
Yeah.
leaps and bounds better tasting.
Yeah.
And then I took an apple cider spice packet and I poured it into the apple juice.
Mm.
But then it was supposed to render down into like a caramel syrup, and I just couldn't quite get there
Okay.
because
Yeah.
it didn't have
It-
enough.
because of that. It's
The sugar
delicious.
content. Yum.
But
Very
Apple
good.
cider.
Mhm.
I feel like any of these could be in a bakery.
Hi,
Yeah.
Miriam.
For sure.
Miriam says, "You bean girls are killing me. Hand over the treats and no one
They're
gets hurt."
so good.
They are really good. Sometimes it's like, oh, okay, but everything is delicious.
Yeah, I don't even know.
How do we pick a winner? I want to say we ate the most of the cheesecake.
If I were gonna take a second helping of something, I would definitely take the cheesecake.
Yeah.
But is cheesecake just a better option?
Right. And you guys don't
Right.
like cinnamon, right?
No, I
So,
don't
like,
the
you know.
for beauty wise, the Babka's gorgeous.
Okay.
Mhm.
I could win on looks. I'm fine with that.
Well, you win your VIP contest on Licks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We could put it out to the office and let the office decide.
I'm taking Swiss cheesecake home, so
Okay,
they
so
don't
they
get all
don't
of it.
get they get little bits of it.
I don't know.
I like the cheesecake.
I
too.
would go with the cheesecake personally.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you are gonna get your sash.
I feel like I'm back home.
Bill says four-way
Oh,
tie.
no,
That's
you
fair.
took it away from your
Yeah.
daughter,
Yes.
She has no problem
and
with that.
you just
Yeah.
said you were a good mom.
She's a good mom. Because if you let
I
your
taught my
kids
child
win-
how to share.
right. And not everybody gets a trophy in life. But
I
it nailed it
think
or
I
failed it, you
could
do.
would try to
I
make
know,
this. This is what I'm
never
worried
gonna
about.
Do this again.
If I made this cheesecake 4 more times, I probably couldn't. I mean, I think I have really good beginner's luck. Like my macarons were amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I
and
forgot you made those.
super hard. My
Yeah.
cherry pie is so good. I did make it one more time. And then they're like, "Will you make macarons again?" Never, because
They're
I
hard.
would I'd be worried about it because I
Mhm.
don't worry about this.
You won
Right.
that one too. You won the macarons. You won the
Macarons,
cherry pie, and now the cheesecake.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And lime does work.
Yeah, lime does work. We just
Lime
need the
does work.
acid.
Yeah, I didn't think it was. That's what I kind of figured,
Mhm.
and I do prefer lime over
Mhm.
lemon.
Mhm.
So honestly, I was at Walmart and I could not find lemon juice. I don't
Yeah.
know where it's stored in the store.
Mo says
Do you
to
guys
send
know?
had
us
a
some
hard
and she'll let
time
us know.
finding lemon extract for the cookies.
Where is lemon juice in the store? I looked in baking. I looked
It's
by the
usually-
fruits. I looked by the pickles.
It's in the
Is it
juice
Up by the
section.
fruit. I usually find it up by the fruit.
Yeah, I find it in the juice section because it's like a bottled juice.
Hmm.
Or you
I
can buy
looked, I
lemons
didn't
and
see
make
it.
your own.
Let's not get crazy.
You cut it and you squeeze it.
Send me some.
That's
I'll let
like,
you
I
know.
wish I could
know.
send you. It's really, really good.
Mhm.
That crust turned out really good.
Mhm.
But the
Very
girl did say to use a measuring cup, and it
To pound?
pounded it
Yeah.
and smushed it against the sides.
Oh, you mean when you were
I didn't try
flattening
the
crust?
strawberry stuff though. What's the strawberry?
The strawberry
stuff?
was really good.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
has honey in it.
Oh,
I could
That's
have
good.
gone without the strawberry.
I don't like strawberries.
I thought the strawberry was good.
And
So-
it was good, but
Mhm.
I could have gone without
I
it and
scraped
just
mine
had
off.
cheesecake.
I scraped
Mhm.
mine off a little bit.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Yep, I think it added to it because usually if I make a cheesecake, like a New York cheesecake at home, I also make like a homemade caramel or chocolate to go with it.
of course you do.
Well, because you've got to, right? I mean, so like for me,
homemade caramel. I'm
I-
like, what do you just like put little caramels in a bucket and just let
well,
it be?
so you could do brown sugar and butter, right, and cook it,
Do you
or
just melt the caramels down?
or one way you can do it
The
is a
cheesecake.
can
Lori,
of
Lori won. She's the new champion.
sweet and condensed
Yay.
milk. You can make it with water
Yeah,
in
we've
your
done that.
instant
That's
pot
so good.
or your crock pot. It's delicious.
Oh, we did make that caramel. We did do the
Yeah.
caramel dip. I forgot.
Yes,
And we
yeah.
I was shocked it made caramel.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's just sweet and condensed milk, which is so good for you, obviously. It's
Good
just milk.
job, guys.
Yeah,
They
this was a fun box.
they were all really, really good.
But when I tell you that we were all messaging each other last night, like, what did we get ourselves into? Because
Oh,
I was
yeah.
looking at my instructions going like, this thing's going to be rising. And I probably spent 6 hours on this, right? Between rises, right?
Yeah.
But, yours was a long process. Britton was at gymnastics last night. You were doing
and I
yours
had to do the
forever,
thing. Yeah.
Well,
Well, the hour
definitely a
and
lot of
40
effort.
cooking.
Mine
Mhm.
took longer than it probably had to
Mhm.
because I let it set up. So I watched TV for a while.
There.
And then I had to let the cookies cool
Fair.
first.
Yeah.
So I read book for a while.
Sure. No, I was hoping I'd have those
I
moments in between,
I
but
think some of the looks part of
Not
mine
really.
is I did not let them cool. I was tired and I was done and I threw all the crap on it. and
Yours
said,
are
they are
delicious.
delicious.
So
Good
Mo
enough.
says that she's a baker.
I
and
think
her
they taste
specialty-
better than they look.
Was
Yeah.
with
So
the
almost
shell.
9, yeah.
Yeah.
Mo's specialty is a deep dish cherry pie, and it takes 7 pounds of fresh cherry.
Whoa.
Okay, that's like $70, and we're from Michigan where we have cherries abound. Like that's crazy. How much does that cost?
Yeah, I had to make that cherry pie and I had to make the crust from scratch. And I even like did the little weavy thing up top. But I used frozen cherries that we had
Mhm.
here and they were delicious. They were like cherry medley or something.
Yeah, they were like
really
a
good
blend
cherries.
of Michigan cherries. But our favorite part was that you bought a cherry pitter, and they came pitted. And she sat and pitted them for a while before she realized that there was no
Nothing
pit in
come.
them.
First of all, I couldn't get the pitter to work because
There's no pit
It was
in a frozen
confusing.
cherry. It was adorable.
but
And I went with you to the store, and you snuck pie crust into the cart
just in case.
just in case. And I'm watching you going.
Logan and I were
cheater.
trying to like find a cheesecake that we could pick up that day, but nobody.
I
And now
did
I
hear
understand
that.
why because
Yeah.
it takes
Mhm.
forever. Like, who puts a roasting pan with boiling water in it to cook something?
That's a water bath, and
Yeah.
that's how you keep it moist.
Oh, well,
Right?
it was bizarre to me.
A lot of things have that.
Mhm. Yeah, like some souffles, like you
Okay,
cook in a
Anything
hot water
with a
bath?
custard.
yeah.
But I had to leave the
Creme brulee?
eggs and the
Yeah.
cream cheese to get to room temperature, and it said it was very important.
Mhm.
And then I don't know why the heck you need 4 eggs and 1
Egg
yolk.
hmm
Well, it
Egg
worked.
white.
Yeah.
No
they
white.
wanted
It was the yolk. You had to do the 4 egg. Like I feel like if you did it with 5 eggs next to it, could it be that different?
Probably not.
I just
Great
think they want to
question.
be fancy. I
Yeah.
think they just like
Anyways,
want to be fancy.
well-
We need to look that up and find out why that is that you'd have
Our-
more yolk than egg whites. 'cause
Will
I don't know the
always says
answer.
he comments on X, and I actually that I see
This is
it
the first
today.
time I've
This
seen
is the
it,
first
yeah.
time I've
Oh,
seen it.
yeah.
Hey, chill, Will Mason.
You're gonna want some of these goodies.
He sure will.
I know. We're gonna have to maybe divvy them up
Yeah.
out on the table.
Okay, because we do have, let's see, online on our VIP page, everyone was voting.
So,
Mhm.
which is your favorite coffee?
I like the black and white.
I'm going Babka.
And I'm going apple
No,
cronut.
not the right one.
Did you have a favorite?
I like the black and white.
The black and white was good.
Mhm.
It tastes. I wouldn't know what a black and white tasted like,
I would,
but it
I would
has
assume
more
chocolate.
cakey kind of than it.
Yeah.
So it was good. I thought it matched the black and white cookie very very
I'm sure
well.
nobody else has tried to join the VIP group. We have a
So,
couple people
I kind of
having
think
them.
though, like, right? Oh, I don't know who Brenda Ann is, but she said you could never go wrong betting on Aunt Janie. Final answer. So whoever
Brenda.
Brenda is.
They were good.
So it kind of can go 3 ways,
cousin.
right?
Thank you,
Whoever we
Brenda.
think is the best, whoever online thinks is best based on looks, right?
Mhm.
And then office wise, everybody could try it in the office and say who they think is the best. There could be 3 different avenues to win. We'll take
looks,
official.
Looks
You-
though don't
you know
count
what?
because if it looks good and it doesn't taste good,
That's fair.
then I mean,
Everybody's saying yolks make it richer.
oh, is that why?
Fair.
So
And
this is a real
Jennifer
thing.
says
More
more
custardy.
custardy, and she said that's the
Mhm.
technical term.
Custard yes, I like
We
it.
like the technical.
Well, I would get
Mhm.
it maybe put 1 egg yolk really that made the difference between gold ribbon or not, I guess.
Yeah.
I believe that when you're cooking, you can estimate a lot,
hmm
but when you're baking,
Science.
it's pretty
Mhm.
much
The chemical.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, lemon lime, little extra
Well,
vanilla.
they're both citrus, so
I have a banana bread recipe that was shared with me. The only recipe I've ever had where you take the baking soda and you squeeze the lemon over it to carbonate it. So then it like infuses that into the
Oh,
dough.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I've never
like
seen
using
it
a
where
Sprite or something.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
a lot of
but
people make it with Sprite.
spray.
Sprite.
Oh, Sprite.
Oh,
I've
yeah, to
never
get the
actually seen that.
carbonation.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're making like a
Yeah,
version
it's the
of that.
acidity, right?
Yeah.
Like the acid with the
Mhm.
bubbly content of it.
Very cool.
So-
well the
yeah.
white frosting on this,
Mhm.
you do a water and corn syrup.
Oh, okay.
You boil that,
Interesting.
and then you add the confectioner's sugar.
I would have thought it was
I wonder if it's
just
to
that.
make it
Yeah, just
get
like-
that like shiny look.
Yeah,
Well,
that
I
makes
think
sense.
too, because you're supposed to be able to put it on, and it should run by itself.
Mm.
If you tip the cookie, it should.
I
Okay.
wondered how hard that would be to ice each side without it
Oh yeah.
oozing into the other side. You did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw the cookies like being dipped like
Mhm.
that, I was like, I'm out. I'm out on that bread. I'm out. And then this cronut thing,
Mhm.
no, I'm out. So I
Mhm.
thought cheesecake.
It was way more steps than I anticipated.
Yeah.
That frosting on it is so good though.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bill.
I love it.
I'm sorry
all.
everybody can't try our treats, but take our word for them. They were all really
Oh.
good.
And the flavors are live on the
Mhm.
website. So if you
And
haven't grabbed them, grab them.
Selling wicked fast. Like that's all I've been pulling, I swear.
I know. It's
So,
crazy.
we
It
should
seems like everyone goes faster than the other.
Yes.
You know, it just keeps going.
should we talk really quick about the movie we saw last week, or should we leave that to the history?
Oh my goodness.
The Wuthering Heights.
We saw
We
Wuthering
went and
Heights.
saw Wuthering
all
Heights.
4 of us.
Britton was snorting laughing, I'm just
Oh
gonna
my God,
say.
it's so ridiculous.
And then to look at me, and we were like busting up. And then people, I think, are sobbing.
They were sobbing.
Yeah,
like, one
Janelle
girl was
crying
like-
for real.
Yeah,
One
and
girl was
Janelle
laying at her
was
husband.
crying like a baby, and it's
Yeah.
like I looked over and I said, "Are you crying?" And she said, "Yes." Shut up.
It was
Like, okay.
It's so good.
I get artsy people are gonna probably find a lot of
the
deeper meaning
the
in
costuming
this.
was amazing.
Costumes
Yes.
were cool.
Costume super.
It was
cool.
visually beautiful.
Honestly, the acting was pretty good too.
The story, the acting,
Oh,
it was so over the top in artistry. It got points. I mean, when leeches are making a perfect V and then another V, and I'm just like, it was so unrealistic to me.
Yeah,
There were that it made me lose the story totally.
for sure.
When the bottles are all piled up in symmetry.
I thought
it
they were like
just
Christmas
How it
trees.
took like 700
isn't that how you
years to
pile
get
yours
back.
up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
700 years to get there when the girl could run there in 5 minutes, but the horse can't get there overnight. I mean, things that defy logic.
Yes.
And I read about the Wuthering Heights and their part 1 and part 2, and I'm very
Yes.
upset the way they ended it. I'm not going to say it, but it's very upsetting that because hello, you should have made another movie, so you should have kept it more true to the original, so you could make the next movie and
Maybe
have a
they
happy
will.
ending.
Maybe they
They
will.
can't.
They can't.
They
They
can't.
can't.
Oh, you're right. They can't.
can't.
Yeah, they can't.
But what upset me too is that she started out and she was supposed to be how young? I
Mm.
mean, young.
18,
Yeah.
18
17.
maybe. And then she went 10 years and she looked the same.
I think
So
she
at
might look like that.
18, she looked
Margot
30.
Robbie's pretty beautiful.
she's-
She hasn't really aged a
I
lot.
think she might
Jacob
look that way
Elordi,
forever.
same. Both beautiful creatures.
Yeah, he grew on me. When he had that missing tooth,
Okay,
it was a little
I
tough.
have been a Jacob Elordi fan since The Kissing Booth, right? Like, he's wonderful.
Was that
I've
him?
seen
That's his first movie.
Mhm.
But The Gold Tooth, I hated.
Yeah.
I don't mind the
hated
gold tooth.
it.
It was way better than the
Mm-mm.
missing tooth.
True.
Hated both. Hated both.
So,
When I went to the bathroom during the middle of the movie, and I'm like, I want to remember what I rated this on Goodreads. And I looked at it, and it was a 1 star that I had rated the book. And I also give the same rating to the movie.
Did you read the original?
I read the
book?
original book, yes, by Emily Bronte.
Hmm.
and then
Okay.
their story was kind of crazy because they lived in this place next to a cemetery that
Mhm.
contaminated their water. So I
Yeah,
didn't
Cindy
realize there was
does that.
Emily
yeah.
Bronte, Charlotte
Charlotte.
Bronte,
Mhm.
and there was another sister.
There's another sister and the brother. They all
and they
died
all
at a young
died
age.
before like 30.
38 was the youngest.
But
She died in
remember the
childbirth.
times
Yeah.
because
Oldest.
often you had your family cemetery right on your.
Mhm. They
This was
lived
a
in
real one.
the parishioner. I think their dad was the pastor or whatever, and their whole town was infected with sewage, and the water was contaminated from the graveyard as well. And the girls lived right by the graveyard, so they said they were sickly their whole life. I sent them the video to watch because I thought it was really interesting. I follow her. It's history with Amy. If anybody's interested in watching the video, But I thought the time was interesting. So I'm like, this is why this
But
book's so twisted.
the story was
That's-
actually good, and the acting was really good too for what they gave them. I mean, at points, like when she's sobbing on the staircase instead of going to her room and stuff, like it just cracked me.
She was
up.
so distraught.
It was so ridiculous. And then I posted something in a group book club because it's like there were like 14 things of non-belief. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way.
Yeah.
I said to Janelle, I said, I wouldn't want to live back then. And
No.
she said, oh, I would, except for I'd need air conditioning.
You don't get that.
And I
big
said,
creepy.
And my washer and dryer, my dishwasher, my
Your washer.
How about a
stove.
grocery store?
Yeah.
How about
Like, you could go-
electricity
how
and
about
lights?
A restaurant.
Right.
That
Like,
makes
how about
food
a-
for you?
A flushing toilet, you know?
Yeah, that would have
Yeah.
been nice. Yeah.
I don't ever want to live in a time where there wasn't indoor plumbing. Let's start there.
Well, and then in the book, it was the brother that was mean, not the dad. And they morphed it into it being the dad, which I
Oh.
thought was more harmful. Like, I just
Yeah.
thought that was like really, I don't know. It just,
I have
I
the
don't want to
It's
give
too
too
bad.
much of it away.
Yeah.
it's just too bad.
Yeah. I forget everything I read the moment, but I remembered just that I hated the book, and I hated the book because I didn't like the characters. I thought they were terrible people who were selfish, that put themselves first in all means.
Yeah.
And the movie was the same. So I just like both.
So you're a
Poor
guy when it comes to
Elizabeth.
movies.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
mean, poor Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Oh,
Oh, Kathy or Isabel?
Isabel.
Isabel,
That was it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It
She
was
made her
just-
choice. She seemed happy where she was at.
It was.
I
all
mean,
tough.
if Jacob already put me in chains, I'm just saying.
I just
On that note.
I
On that
just
note.
remember the last line of the book, and of the movie,
Mhm.
and it was like, you know, that's the kind of love you want forever.
No, it's pretty toxic and disgusting. And her husband was wonderful, and he didn't deserve her, or he,
Well, and
he
then
deserved
and
better
in the
than
book
her.
they grew
Yeah,
up
he
together.
was
They
Yeah.
weren't like it was just very
Mhm.
fantastical. But it made sense because the director said she wrote that when she read the book, she was like 14,
Yeah.
and she wrote it in her 14-year-old mindset.
Well-
and then that made sense to me.
I don't
Some
know
of the
what
fantasy.
14
Well,
knows
I don't know about
some of
that,
That's a
but I
dark-
think like
That's a dark 14-year-old
the
mind.
house with the hands and the
pretty
fantastical
scary
nature
shit.
of it and
Yeah.
stuff, and the ribbons and the you could definitely see some.
Have any of you guys seen Gone with the Wind? Because one thing nobody's talking about is how many of the scenes look just like Gone with the Wind. The movie poster, Gone with the Wind,
Yeah, it does,
exactly.
yeah.
Oh,
The
really?
scene where he's in the bright red background of the sunset, Gone with the Wind with Rhett Butler. So I'm a big Gone with the Wind fan.
Yeah,
we
I
should
like
do a
Gone
Gone
with
with
the
the
Wind.
Wind box.
I like
We're
the
doing
new
it.
one.
We're doing it.
The new one that was written, Scarlet.
I love
Scarlet
Scarlet.
was really good.
Because Scarlet redeems Gone with the Wind.
Yeah. I like.
You ever read
Scarlet a lot.
those?
Nope.
Those are wonderful. You read those? Scarlet by Margaret Mitchell.
Mm-mm.
Or I'm sorry,
No,
Gone with the
not
Wind by
by-
Margaret Mitchell, and then
And
someone else came in
somebody
and wrote
else wrote
Scarlet
Megan
in like the
O'Meara
80s or
something.
90s,
I don't know.
and they're wonderful. And
Really
then
good.
in the 90s, they did a TV adaptation of it, and I think it wasn't Tim Burton who played Rhett, because that just doesn't work for me. I mean, if you're not Clark Gable, you're not Clark Gable. Let's not pretend. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No,
he was
you're
the guy.
right.
He was.
I went to
You're
the Gone with the Wind Museum when I was like 14 in Georgia because I loved it so much.
Gone with the Wind was
Mhm.
banned
Yeah.
in high school when
Yeah.
I
Patty,
went
have a
to
good
school.
week.
Hi,
And that was
Patty.
a
Bye,
long
Patty.
time ago.
Ever since Gone with
But,
the Wind was her favorite.
It was actually banned for the kids to read.
Yeah, Gone
But
with the Wind was good.
Yeah.
I liked
we,
her. She's
we
sassy.
got
Yeah.
copies of it,
Yeah.
and I spent all night finishing it.
Do you know
one
why they
night.
banned it? Was it like racial stuff or I don't remember why they banned it.
It's probably racy.
No,
No.
I mean,
Didn't you save with the Wicked Witch one? What is that?
Wicked, that was pretty filthy.
Oz, the Wizard of Oz. That in the movie that the shoes were under the bed or something.
There's one copy of the movie that at the end when she said, "Oh, Dorothy, you were dreaming in that," and at the side of the bed are the red ruby slippers
Oh,
sitting.
interesting.
And that's the one I saw when I was
Yeah.
little.
Interesting.
And I always wondered if I had imagined it because, you know,
You're good.
it's like, okay. But if you read it, there's one copy of the movie where the slippers
Were
are
they
there.
red then when it was everything else black and white and they were red? Or was it
At
all
the
black
end
and
of the
white?
movie, it was colored.
Okay.
It was,
Okay.
Mo, I know
Interesting.
exactly what you're talking about with Carol Burnett when she wore the curtain rod. Yes. Do you guys remember, like in the movie Gone with the Wind, she made
Yeah.
clothes out
Yeah,
of
the
curtains?
Yes.
So Carol Burnett did a
Yeah.
skit where she
Mhm.
made them, but
Yeah,
she left
yeah.
the curtain
And
rod
it
in.
was sticky
The
down.
I
curtain
remember
rod,
that.
that was so
That was
funny.
awesome. I love that.
Not like
movie.
the candy eating one. That was the funniest.
That's
I love
Okay.
Lucy.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for our challenge.
Yes.
Thank you for inviting me, ladies.
Yeah, thank you for
Oh,
joining
yeah,
us.
thanks for being here.
Yeah. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
next time.
Bye.
Bye.